Hi and welcome to today's video where I'll be talking about Manifesto and its key principles and values and how it is used in today's environment. As part of the video, we're talking about really what Agile is in its very basic form, and then I'll be going into a bit more detail, understanding a bit about more about the Agile Manifesto and the main key four values. From that point onwards, we will discuss, Agile Manifesto in its daily scenarios, how it can be used today, etc., and some of examples where it could be commonly used. And then, in summary, why Agile Manifesto matters today and some of the common misunderstandings around Agile and so forth. But without a delay, let's crack on and talk about the first area. So, understanding the Agile Manifesto. Really, let me just put it into principle. So first thing first, let's cover traditional against the Agile method. So the prime example is, compare traditional project manager to planning a trip with a rigid itinerary, and then look at Agile is where you've got a trip where it's flexible, spontaneous road trip where you just make decisions as you go along rather than having a rigid plan. So really that's Agile and traditional project manager in its context. And Agile has revolutionized the road trip for many software developers and the project management teams out there currently embracing Agile Manifesto and its methods. However, Agile, it's started in way back in 2001, a group of software developers, that's where it really started, met to discuss a fresh approach to project management. The traditional method wasn't working. And that's when Agile, the manifesto started really coming, or was born, should we say. And as part of that, was the four key values that were created. Now, the first one is people and teamwork are more important than system and tools. And here, really, what it means is it's highlighting the importance of human interaction. This value underscores the importance of human communication and the team's problem-solving abilities over specific processes and tools. So it allows a bit of adaptability and allows people to really think outside the box. And actually, allowing people to just flourish without real restrictions is probably the better way of doing it. The next one was having a working product is more valuable than having loads of paperwork. And, a lot of project managers probably say, yeah, that is really good. It stresses on the focus of a tangible result rather than having documentation. And here, the emphasis is on producing functional software ready for quick release or a product rather than spending extensive time on detailed documentation. That's really, really important. The idea is to have a product in use and improvements can be made as necessary based on real-time applications and feedback. So have something that's used and then add things as you go along. And that could be done in any scenario. And the third principle was, working together with the customer is better than negotiating contracts. So discuss the benefits, I'm going to discuss the benefits of understanding the customer needs through collaboration here. Now, traditional methods, are very much focused on, sticking strictly to contractual terms. Agile methods really encourages, continuous customer or stakeholder engagement throughout the development process and tries to evolve around that rather than trying to be very rigid and restrictive. Number 4 is being flexible and open to change is better than strictly following a plan. I get it, but it still needs to be regulated. Compare to adaptability. It makes more things more adaptable in life. Sorry, let me start again. So it makes more things more adaptable. You are looking at being, rather than saying, oh no, this is the plan, we must stick to it. You're actually going, actually no, we can incorporate X, Y, and Z into our plan and add more value to the end result. And that's the key product, adding more value. So this is, really focuses on the value and making sure that you're adding something very quickly and efficiently so that you know that the product that you started with, you are adding more things on. Another area is really it also introduces 12 principles, which I'm not going to cover in this video, and that will be covered. But those 12 principles, for as part of the Agile Manifesto, provided further specifics on applying the values mentioned above on the 4 that are covered. The deal with aspects like customer satisfaction, welcoming change, requirements, sustainable development, technical excellence, simplicity, self-organization, etc. So those I will cover in another video. Next is, Agile Manifesto in the daily scenarios. Now it's being used as we speak, everywhere. And and a prime example is here where, let's say, for example, you are responding to change over, over a plan. How you would adopt to sudden weather changes during an event. In a critical path or rigid project plan, you struggle to adapt, whereas within agile you suddenly say, okay, well, things have changed, let's reevaluate, let's move. But putting the four areas that we covered as part of the manifesto, which are the key values. Let me give you some examples. The first one, people and interactions over process and tools. So let's use an example, two neighbors planning a community cleanup. So imagine planning a neighborhood cleanup. While it's great to have fancy schedule tools, nothing gets the job done better than direct conversation. It's the face-to-face planning, the impromptu meetings over the fence, and the group huddles that build a sense of community and teamwork. And that's pretty much agile. And the same goes for agile. It emphasizes the human element, encourage everyone on the same page, fostering collaboration, which then allows you to deliver. Another example is work, like they say, working software over comprehensive documentation. So another scenario here is a child trying to assemble a toy over a model. Now, have you ever tried putting some, like a 1,000-piece puzzle or assembling furniture with an instruction manual? And you look at it and it's quite, daunting, but sometimes you just wish, you came pre-assembled and you saved the headache. Agile is the same way it thinks. Instead of volumes of documentation, that you read, and that can be mundane, and a lot of people don't struggle with that. The focus is on creating a product that works and improves over time. So you build a small chunk in small increments and build that up. The other one is customer collaboration over contractual negotiation. So here I've got another example where it's two people setting up a lemonade stand. Really keep it simple. So picture kids running a lemonade stand. They quickly realize that chatting with their customers about the lemonade perhaps is too sweet or too sour, and adjusting based on their feedback keep people coming back. They're not bogged down with rigid rules or on the lemonade sugar ratio. They adapt because the customer, they're listening. And this is where agile operates the same way. Prioritize ongoing customer feedback over strict contracts, making sure the final product is something truly worthy, that the customer is happy with. And the final example is responding to change over flow, following a strict rigid plan. So the scenario here is a family on a road trip facing multiple detours. So here, so imagine a road trip where you encounter unexpected detours. There's no point in sticking to the strict and original route if it no longer works or right. Instead, you adapt, find new paths, and make the most of the journey. So rather than being rigid, saying, "Oh, we haven't got this plan," you basically adapt the plan and make the most of what you can because the situation has changed. And here you may even discover quirky side roads, attract and missed areas that you didn't even put into the plan that come into. So agile values this adaptability, understanding that change isn't a roadblock but an opportunity to improve and innovate. And as you know, today a lot of people are embracing that method. The next one is common misunderstandings. Now within project management, a lot of people who traditionally took on agile were like, oh no, it's not for us, etc. But agile doesn't mean no planning. Let's get that right. There is planning required. It just means smart planning. With a room full of, will have some surprises, but you are smart planning in shorter increments, which means that you are more focused. The teams are more able to adjust, and they're more engaged. Whereas a long plan, things are very, oh, it'll get there, it'll get there, get there. But here you are quickly delivering something, which for the human mindset is much more rewarding. Again, you're going to get resistance to change. People are going to offer simpler solutions. There's all sorts of things that will come into the mix, but those challenges are, as part of agile, you'll embrace and say, okay, well, let's adapt, let's move, let's change, and that's where it really kicks in. So, why the Agile Manifesto matters today? Now, in today's environment, we are becoming more and more a digital world, which I think we're already way into the digital world, and AI is now coming into it. The pace is ever increasing, and the life balance of trying to get something done, within the project life cycle, should I say, is the urgency of getting something done is even more higher than before because everybody is trying to deliver quickly and more efficiently because the environments are changing so much faster. Now, this is where Agile really comes into its own, where rather than trying to work from the start all the way to the end to deliver something, they start with something small, deliver that, and gradually build up on that. And I think that is the way forward. And I think that is the way businesses deliver quickly, more efficiently, and add value to their business environment. And from a project perspective, it's more rewarding for the team and more focused, which I think really matters now. A prime example really is, if you were delivering, I don't know, doing a construction project of a car, for example, you'd have a full, like in a car, I'm going to use a construction of a building. Traditionally, you'd have a complete set out plan saying, we're going to do this, 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 this. And you still have to have that degree of planning. But what you'll do now is say, okay, well, in these next 2 weeks, we're going to focus on laying the foundation. A week after that, we're going to focus on, getting the first floor walls up, etc., and so on, and break it down into those manageable chunks so that people can then see and engage with what's more relevant at the time rather than trying to focus too far ahead, whereas the scrum masters or the project managers focus on the wider picture. So in conclusion, the Agile Manifesto is something that I would really encourage many businesses who are not doing it, which I think there's very, very few now. And if you are one of the ones who are not using it, I recommend it. Really take it on board. It's huge game changer. It's going to increase your customer collaboration. It's going to increase your internal team collaboration. You're going to be able to deliver a lot more, a lot quicker, and fundamentally, it's going to make your team deliver more in a shorter period of time, which for your customer's perspective is a lot better. So overall, in my opinion, the Agile Manifesto is here to stay. It's going to be very heavily incorporated, but AI is going to, which I've got another video. AI is going to enhance this whole experience considerably, a lot more. I hope that's the end of the video, but thank you for listening. I hope that was helpful. If you did like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for your time.